Hi, I'm Darrell,
And I'm Elia.
and we are Black Nerdy Scholars. Happy birthday to us!
Happy
Happy birthday to
birthday!
us! We both
You just
had
gonna bring me a birthday gift on my
birthdays.
birthday party
You
on my
gonna bring your
birthday?
birthday on my birthday for birthday? Yeah, happy birthday! We're both Unk and Chopped.
Yes!
Yes,
Yes!
finally.
Woo!
People online are weird about age. I gotta say it. I think. I mean, obviously, I don't think it's new.
Yeah.
And this always happens, but it does feel like people are eager to draw lines as opposed to reacting, right? Because like obviously there's always been a older generation looking at younger generation like, you guys are just kids, you don't know shit about the world,
Yeah.
right? But I do think that the difference nowadays is that because millennials grew up online, at least younger millennials, but millennials in general, they were the like first true citizens of the internet. And
Yeah.
the Gen Z are like the first like born citizens of the internet.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? A
They,
lot of
like,
those
a lot of these motherfuckers were born when Instagram was already a thing.
right. And I remember a time before, right? I
Yeah.
remember
Pre-social media.
I remember MySpace vaguely. I wasn't on it much, but I knew I had a MySpace account. I just didn't use it.
I got in trouble for having one. I mean,
You got in trouble for having a MySpace
I was like
account?
10, so.
Oh, sure. Okay, sure. That makes sense. Yeah. There are like predators on there, allegedly. Well, I guess they're on all of them. I digress. It does feel like there are generational lines that are sometimes drawn, both by Gen Z and millennials, right? Where it's like Gen Z, was it millennial stare and like, or no, Gen Z stare and like millennial pause and like stuff like that. And every now and then there'll be some viral trend of like millennials, typically older millennials, but millennials nonetheless, that are like, I look younger than you. And it's like,
Stop.
first, wrong. First, that's not true. And
You like an adult.
you
And
look like
that's
an adult,
okay.
but you look like a millennial. Like that, you look like this thing. All of that aside, because there really isn't. There are so few monocultures left outside of the internet, which I don't think really counts. It is this like nebulous landscape. A lot of things that would be generational divides aren't really. Like, yes, there's like Gen Z lingo, but also like, first that's black people, and then two, it bleeds out, right?
Yeah. Which is how you get people like me who are zillennials, because I was born in
Yeah,
98. So I have shared experiences with millennials, and I have experiences that I don't share with them. The
yeah,
same with Gen Z. Like, how I relate to Gen Z differs a lot from how my brother, who was born in 2005, how he relates to Gen Z. Like, that boy is like
yeah.
fully
As
ass Gen
someone
Z.
like, I corroborate this as a professor, right? I do think the biggest two things that are generational are like the effects of COVID and the effects of
Oh, absolutely.
generative AI. Because that's like teaching COVID kids is like, ooh, you guys had
Yeah.
a number done to you.
Because when COVID hit
Oof.
for us, I want to say it was supposed to be my last semester of school anyway. So I'd
Yeah.
already hit all the like developmental school phases, being in person with people, blah blah blah. Like, I didn't have graduation, but that doesn't, rewire your brain or anything. Whereas a lot of these kids were on COVID when COVID hit.
We're on coke when
We're
COVID
on
hit?
God, I hope not. But when COVID hit, they're in like middle school, and these
Yeah.
are really important years that you're
Yeah.
supposed to develop alongside your peers. And on top of it just feels like COVID plus ChatGPT and just the rise in
Yeah.
Gen AI. It just seems like there's even less investment in how these kids are actually doing, and it's more about just pushing them through the system, which has always been a problem, but now
Yeah.
it's
It's also
intensified.
always been a priority, especially in this country, right? Like the
Yeah.
educational systems in America are established specifically to churn out factory workers.
Yep.
And that problem has only been exacerbated by COVID and the that instilled apathy
Yes.
and like what's the word? Just like there's a lack of curiosity. There's
Yeah.
a lack of genuine trying for a lot of
I see
people.
this. It's sometimes talking to my students, it's like, I don't know. Of course, I know this is just coming from a place of someone who was interested in school a lot. So I
Mhm.
remember there were moments where my professors would show me something cool, and I'm like, "Oh my god, this is so cool! Like I'm
Yeah.
really interested in this, learning more about this." And it feels almost like I can't reach them anymore with what I
Yeah.
know. Like I always ask my kids every quarter because I always show Coraline because I'm like, none of them have ever seen it,
Mhm.
and I'm like, "Oh, this is great example of the contemporary gothic. You know, you got your secrets, you got your doppelgangers, you got all that."
Mhm.
And of course, I know this is just a thing with technology just being so intertwined with school, but hell, I'll have people who like will sit on the back on their computer the whole time, not
Mhm.
even like look up at all.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, it's not like I'm like, oh, you have to like what I like, but it's just like not even an attempt to engage, which I find
Yeah.
interesting because you know, you if you've seen Coraline, it's a good ass movie. Just
Truly
that.
the biggest victim of this whole thing is the Coraline fan base. Clearly you are the ones that are hurting. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
There's just the thought about generationality. Because it's like we are very close. We are very close friends, and technically we are different generations. But
yeah,
I don't I don't feel I don't feel a like divide
yeah.
between
There's
us
not.
or
There
like
might be
being in
like
yeah
certain artists that I was like too young to listen to or stuff like that, but
sure.
it's generally, I think we grew up the same and we had like the same sort of timeline, if
Mm.
that makes sense,
I
of moving
do
through the
think
world.
part of that is race.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because we both have a unifying Black Americanness that we grew
Yes.
up with before we met each other, and we also met at an HBCU.
Yeah.
That it's not that it's not that white people don't have that. It's just the thing that American whiteness is upheld by is exclusion generally. Obviously
Individual. Yes.
there are specific instances, there are specific cultural artifacts. I'm not so proud, I guess, to say that there is no white culture. There are. And not just nationally, just that
Yeah.
there in America there is white American culture. Um but a lot of
Keith Urban. Just
someone's gonna be like, how do these jigaboos know about Keith Urban?
oh, Sangria Wine, that's my shit.
Oh,
By Keith
word.
Urban.
I feel like I've never heard a Keith Urban song in my life, and I know that can't be true.
I heard it on accident because there was another song I liked of the same name that I would play, but I accidentally played Keith Urban's version. I'm like, wait, this kind of bangs. I don't know anything about you except maybe you were married. Was he married to Nicole Kidman or something?
That sounds right.
It might be another country white man.
Yeah. They blend together at a certain point.
Yes, for
Um,
sure.
what was I gonna say? But the across generations, there is a passing down of recipes that I feel like is still actively practiced within Black American communities and other Black communities. I'm saying Black America because we're both Black American. Um, uh, uh, and it doesn't feel like the generations that grew up online without unifying cultural experiences outside of the internet have as much to pass down through the internet. This is all like speculation. This is just me articulating things that I feel like I've noticed. This would have to be researched and studied more. I'm sure there are existing scholarship. There is existing scholarship on this that I don't currently have access to.
Yes. I'm really curious because that has to be indicative of some sort of shift in how people think and even like receive the world. Like I think about how my nephew, he's like 5 or 6, and I just can't imagine, having such access to technology from
Mhm,
such a young age. Like I was on the computer when I was like 5 or 6, so I didn't have
mhm.
like I wasn't like completely lack of internet access.
But
But
even at that age, the computer was in a room.
yeah, you would go
Like
to the
you had to
computer.
go
I
to
had
the
to ask my
internet.
parents to use it and stuff.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, you're like 5 or 6 and you got your iPad, you got your phone, and
Mhm.
when
Everything is connected to Wi-Fi. You can start your
yeah,
car from your phone. You can warm
yeah.
your oven from your phone. Like you are we have become cyborgs in this like digital matrix.
And I'm like, this can't be good for your brain. I just can't
Yeah.
imagine it's gonna be a positive impact or anything.
Or at least it feels like there aren't enough positives to
Justify it.
outweigh and to
Yeah.
justify tolerating so many of the negatives.
I always joke that if I ever have a child that I'm gonna have like an analog child, like that
Mhm.
nigga no iPad.
Mhm.
Of course you can use the computer future child and do all the other shit, but learning to develop a sense of self outside of technology.
Yeah. Because I would also say that it's not merely the technology, it is like the access to certain realms of technology. Because it's like an iPad can be incredibly helpful for raising a child, from what I've read, if you take off the social media stuff.
Yeah.
Take off the social media stuff, honestly, take off YouTube, right? Just put tools on there. If you give a kid
YouTube's what bad.
only like MS Paint or whatever, they're gonna use it.
Yeah.
But but also you have to do the other stuff too. You have to do the reading. You have to do the
Yeah.
quality time. You have to take them outside.
And I feel like
God
that's why we're
forbid.
seeing a lot of problems. It's not the fact that they're just using the iPad. It's just the lack of the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not reading to the kids no more. They're not
Mm-hmm.
they're not going outside. And I think it's interesting because we're getting like our first what? These are Gen Alpha, their parents are millennials and shit,
Mm-hmm.
basically. So
Yeah.
first generation I would say to be raising kids who or the first generation that grew up with the internet raising
Mm-hmm.
children.
Yeah.
And I think we're kind of seeing how an over reliance perhaps on like or even like when you would bother your parents and they'll be like go play with your toys or
Mm-hmm.
something. It's like nah, let me just cut that iPad on and
Yeah.
cut the videos
Here,
on.
kid, put on some Coco Melon. Try your
Also,
shit.
fuck Coco Melon.
Fuck
I don't
Coco
like that
Melon. All my
song.
homies hate Coco Melon.
I'm not opposed to like kids music, of course, but like
Mm-hmm.
that shit is like
Yeah, because there's stuff like
mind
Gracie's
numbing.
Corner and like Miss Rachel and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Bluey. That like there is good
Bluey's good.
like toddler, young child media. You just also have to do the other shit.
Yeah,
And I know someone's gonna listen to this and be like, "You guys aren't parents. I don't give a fuck what you say." And to
that's
that I
cool.
say, "Okay, that's cool. You are within your rights to do that." Let's get to the content catch up. Leah, what have
Yeah,
you been watching or reading or listening to or doing?
yeah. I got this new game called Dead is Disco. Have you heard of it?
No.
It's a beat 'em up rhythm game. So
Oh,
basically,
I've seen clips of this. I've seen clips of this.
yes. So basically, you play as this guy who was murdered by or betrayed by his bandmates, Charlie Disco, and he gets, I guess, to come back to life via some pact with some devil-like creature or something.
Sure.
I don't really know too much if there's like, I imagine it'll have as much of a storyline as like a standard beat 'em up sort of game, but I was very intrigued by the rhythm fighting sort of
Mm-hmm.
aspect and fighting to the music. And I tried it with an up because you can actually upload your own music and adjust the
Oh,
beats
that's
per minute.
cool.
Yeah, it is kind of hard, I'll say, because you have to upload like MP3s, which it's kind of hard to find MP3s for.
Sure.
But I'm hoping in like the future they'll have, because it's early access, so maybe they'll have some type of like Spotify or Tidal or any of the apps like
Sure.
integration with your like music library. But shit, I tried it with Billie Jean because I'm like, okay, I know I can find like a Michael Jackson MP3, and it was
You
fun.
didn't do it to beat it? It's right there.
Damn it, God, how did I miss
It's
that?
right there. It's right in front of you.
Honestly, Beat It would be better because there's like a suggested BPM. You want like between 120 and like 190 to
Sure.
get the best thing. So I feel like Beat It is probably like the perfect BPM for the game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
So
it's very fun. Yeah.
what's the gameplay loop like?
You'll like fight against regular opponents, and then you
Mm-hmm.
like get to bosses. So then it's like it gets harder, of course, as you keep going, and then the bosses will have like uh it's like a rhythm game in the sense that you know how you have to match the keys up in time
Okay,
with the
when
beat.
you say rhythm game, is it like you just have to hit the buttons in time, or is it like DDR where you have to hit specific buttons in time? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You say beat 'em up, but like if you're on PlayStation or whatever, like is it just hitting square in time, or is there a script of something going across the screen that's like triangle X X triangle circle like that kind of thing?
It's I think more towards like the first of what you're saying. So it'll be like you don't have to follow necessarily like the suggested well, actually, I don't know if that's true. I haven't played like the actual mode. I've only been playing. I tried the free play mode first,
Mm-hmm.
but they'll like have like the symbols above like the character's head before you do the certain moves or whatever. Like, or it'll be like you dodge or like you hit or like
Mm-hmm.
or you do like a combo or something.
Sure.
So it's
Have you played you played Spider-Man, right?
yeah, I
Spider-Man
played a little
PS4.
Spider-Man. Yeah,
Is it like that except you have to keep rhythm?
yeah, basically, yeah. That's a good way to
Great.
describe
So
it.
it's like an Arkham like rhythm game.
Yeah, like it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
like
yeah.
open. I don't. Well, no, actually, I don't know if it doesn't have like an open world setting or anything
Is it
as
a
far as I know.
roguelike? Like is there one linear story, or you do runs and see as far as you get?
Uh, I think maybe it might be a linear story. Like I don't think you have to start over or anything after if you like lose against the boss or something.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
don't. I could
If
be wrong.
if you like the rhythm aspects, have you
I
played
do.
Hi-Fi Rush?
Oh, cool. Let me look that up.
Hi-Fi Rush. It is also like a beat 'em up rhythm game, but it is a lot more of a. It feels in conversation with older 3D action platformers like Ratchet and Clank and Jack and Daxter. Like those kinds of
Yeah,
things where you have to you get different abilities that help you traverse the land. I think it's a little more linear than some of those.
yeah,
But still there's like a rhythm, and you don't have to keep time, but it you are rewarded greatly if you're
yeah.
keeping time, to the point where like it gets harder to just play the game if you aren't in time.
I think that's
Um
basically how it is. Cause it's like
Word.
technically you're not gonna like fail or lose points if you don't hit it with the time. But then it's like, oh, you're gonna want to keep time to benefit yourself while you play and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
moving. And it seems like Hi-Fi Rush was definitely one of the well, I don't want to cite it as a direct inspo, but like
Sure.
also, yeah,
Or like
it's
they're both pulling from a similar pool of
yeah.
inspiration. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
also
yeah.
I'll say fun about the Dead as Disco is it's heavily inspired by Into the Spider-Verse animation. And
Sure.
you'll see that when you like open the game and stuff, but it's
Sure,
very
sure,
pleasing
sure.
to look at.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard of that. If you guys like if you like rhythm games that are also beat 'em ups,
Yeah,
check out Dead as Disco.
I think it's a fun combo because I feel like some of the best action sequences, even when think of like anime and stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
Samurai Champloo. That fusion of music and fighting is always
Yeah, yeah,
very
yeah,
cool to
yeah,
see.
yeah. No, that is really cool. Yeah. What I have been doing is I'm still keeping up with Critical Role,
Oh, cool.
with Campaign 4 of Critical Role. If anyone doesn't know what Critical Role is this. It is probably the biggest D&D Dungeons and Dragons actual play franchise to date. If not the, then definitely one of it. It is kind of the, I would argue it's like the central pillar of this relatively young industry of tabletop actual play media.
Hmm.
And they just started their fourth main campaign. And this is the first main campaign because they have side stuff. They have like one-offs that they do that are kind of everywhere. This is the first like main long-running campaign set in a different world because the first three campaigns were all Matt Mercer's world, and this is being driven by Brennan Lee Mulligan. And I brought it up now because we just hit a huge point. There's an event happening that just started called the Convergence for the campaign. I'm gonna explain a bunch, dude. Like, just hold on tight. Hold on tight.
Yes.
So, because Critical Role is so popular, because it's become such a behemoth, and other reasons that I will never know because I'm not a part of the team. The table of players at this in this campaign has gone from 1 DM and 7 main regulars to 1 DM and 13
Oh,
main regulars.
I'm guessing that's a lot to manage.
It's a lot. 7 is already a lot. 7 is already a lot. If
What's the
anyone's
most you've
playing
done?
D&D, the most I've done is me plus 5.
Okay, so
Most I've done is
13
me
is
plus
fucking
5.
nuts.
13 is fucking nuts. And even 5, you kind of push it. I think 5 is probably the most optimal number because it's enough for them to split into 2 teams, and because of the odd number, not to be lopsided, like power wise, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you have 3 people, you really can't split up too much. Like, you can all do solo things when you come back. And with 4 people, you can do 2 and 2. But typically, one of those will be a lot weaker or a lot more vulnerable. Right? But with 5, it's like you can kind of balance some of the splitting up. And I like splitting up. 7 is a lot. 7 is a lot. Like, it just takes so long. But because there are 13, they are basically splitting this giant. They basically split this giant table into 3 tables, in which each one goes a different place and has a different core objective. And the convergence, as they're calling it, is they're all coming back together again for a little bit before they split off again.
Oh.
And so there's a bunch of people at the table. There's people rotating in and out, and it's really chaotic. I'm loving it so far. And in fact, I'm loving the whole campaign so far. This is some of my favorite stuff that I've watched. Period. It's so good, and it's baffling to me. Well, it's not baffling. There is a loud contingent of people that are very anti this season. Now, of those, some of them just don't like change.
Yeah.
Some of them just don't like marginalized people
Oh yeah.
because there
Little
are a
racist
lot more brown
nerds.
people. There are a lot more women, right?
They're taking our space.
And some of them just don't like Brennan. But there are people that are like, it's just not what I want. It's not the D&D that I knew. And I get that complaint because D&D is, yes, the typically like the big grandiose adventure, the stakes, the combat, but it's also the like having a funny scene that you didn't plan because one of the characters is trying to haggle a price down with this random guy that has no name. And now all of a sudden the DM has to make a name and a backstory for this guy that was sticking around for way longer than they anticipated. It's like those minor moments. And in campaign 4, we don't get many of those because everyone has such urgent objectives that there's really no time for goofing, to the point where when they do goof, I personally am like, could you guys quit goofing off? Get back to my serious
right
drama, right? But I really love it. I really love it. And I try not to dwell on those spaces online because people get weird.
Oh yeah. Is that
People
something
get
you could see
weird.
yourself doing one day? Like having a super fucking convergence group?
Oh, can I see myself doing it one day?
Yeah.
So if people don't know, I play Dungeons and Dragons. Go figure.
You're a DM.
I am a DM. I've been DMing for a decade now. And I love it. I know that there's kind of an assumed pity for the term is forever DM if you're not in those spaces. But I like it because I like driving.
Yeah.
I like driving the narrative and stuff like that.
Makes
To
sense.
answer
As
your question,
stage manager.
chill.
I'm seeing like it all lining up.
What can I say? We might have told this story before, but her reference to stage manager in undergrad, we both joined theater at the same time. And when we joined theater, the director and the head of the theater department very quickly promoted me to a level of authority, to the point
You
where
just have that vibe about you.
I guess so. And I was like a little older than most people because I went back to school. Most of you were like 20 and I was like 25. But maybe they were just. I also just love being in charge. I've made my peace with it. I like being in charge. To answer your question, could I ever see myself doing that? Yes. So, or let me say this. I would be interested in a career that led to something like that, but I would need way more support to just do it now.
Oh yeah.
Because I think I can do it. Maybe not as seamlessly and as like well voice acted as Brennan Lee Mulligan, but I can try. And I think it would be super cool and interesting.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know. I don't know.
I can see you doing it.
Okay, stop. Stop. Oh my god. All right.
Light skin Brandon. Yeah.
Light skin Brandon?
Yes. Is that his name? Brandon C. Mulligan.
Brennan?
Oh.
Brennan.
My bad. My bad, Brennan.
Mulligan. And he is a like redheaded white dude.
Brennan Lee Mulligan.
Brennan
okay,
BLM. Bleem. Brennan Lee Mulligan. He's on a bunch of stuff. He's kind of like having a massive moment right now. Because he was added to Critical Role to replace Matt Mercer as the DM for this campaign, while he also has his own actual play show called Dimension 20, and he also does writing and stuff. He's on Game Changer and stuff like that, and he also just had his second child in like 3 years.
Cool.
Yes. He's doing a lot. He's a huge moment. He's also like involved very politically. He's a big pillar of like online like socialist spaces. He's great, and I aspire to be him. I'm just not him yet.
Okay, he's 38. We got time.
Yeah. 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 Okay, I could talk about Dungeons and Dragons for the next 5 hours. So let's move on. Let's get into the discussion of the day.
I love boosters.
I love boosters. I love boosters. Hey guys. Hello America. New movie just came out. Boots Riley's, written and directed by Bruce Riley's I Love Boosters. And first, let's do a non-spoiler review.
Yes.
First impressions. I love boosters. What do you think?
I quite enjoyed it. I love how midway through it was like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
That was I was like, oh my
Stop
god.
spoiling! No spoilers yet. No spoilers yet.
I'm sorry, y'all.
It's okay.
But I love the
We'll
colors, I gotta say. I love the creepy ass monochromatic super uber wealthy Demi Moore, her weird monochromatic stores that change
Yeah.
based on the colors and stuff. It was really funny. I liked all the actors and actresses. I was like, this is a really good ensemble performance for sure. Everyone was great, is who they were.
So real quick synopsis. I Love Boosters is about a group of boosters starring Keke Palmer. And I know I saw some people online going, computer, what's a booster? Boosters are people that steal clothes and other items, but typically
honestly,
like,
I forget sometimes
stuff.
that boosters is very like, I think Black American.
Yeah, it didn't make it to the internet, so like kids couldn't steal it. Really.
But it's wild because I do remember there used to be boosters on Tumblr, and they would post their boost hauls.
It's people that steal things, typically designer items and clothing, and sell them.
Yeah.
And we are making no judgment on that.
No.
If you want praise or condemnation, you're gonna have to go somewhere else. Yeah, that's just the thing that exists here.
I will say though that, as Bruce Riley said, thieving is not a result of culture. It's merely what capitalism was built on thievery.
And I think he's right.
Yeah, he's right.
But this is a surrealist comedy about a group of shoplifters that start targeting a specific fashion designer after they discover that designer stole one of the Keke Palmer's character Corvette, her design for a suit. And by surrealist comedy, it's surreal. So first, let's go one by one to the things that we really like, because I do have caveats that I'd want to add before we get into spoilers. First of all, it's beautiful, but not beautiful in like a desktop background cinematic, like wide, like IMAX theater, Ryan Coogler, Christopher Nolan type shot. It has an aesthetic, and it sticks to it hardcore. Hardcore. Like you were already saying, colorful, lots of color, tons of color, which I just off the initial basis, I value, because so many movies these days are fucking gray.
Yeah, they're super gray.
Media is gray as fuck.
They're really into like colors that aren't super colorful.
Yeah.
So like you got a lot of beige and tan, a lot of grays and
stuff that when you watch it at home, you're like, huh? Like you gotta crank up the brightness and adjust the contrast and stuff. Yeah, and you don't have to do that with this movie.
Not every movie can justify being colored. Like, dude, like come on. Like,
yeah. Which is also still really beautiful, and we gotta watch Dune.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Music, great. Just sound design. Sound design, great.
I really like the fucked up recorder they would play.
Yeah.
At certain scenes.
Yeah. Just like the sound effects for different things are really interesting. The music choice that they use. It's hilarious. Funny movie. All of the actors give great performances. I personally found Lakeith Stanfield's performance to be the most entertaining, which I do find hard to like. I do kind of feel bad because it's like it's a movie filled with women, and there's two dudes, and it's Lakeith Stanfield and Will Poulter.
Will
Will
Poulter.
Poulter,
I
who
gotta say, I
also does a
love
great
Will
job.
Poulter.
But everyone's doing a great job. Everyone's doing an incredible job. I found his scenes to be the funniest, though.
They were really funny.
They were really, really funny. Minor complaint, I do wish Taylor Page got to do a little more. She kind of felt just like the dumb friend, or just like the third friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She has a lot of range, so I would like to see more from her character.
Yeah. Same with what's her name? Isaac Gonzalez. I feel like she was introduced really late.
Yeah, I would have liked more from her. Like, I understand her role as someone who explains things, you know, like she's that character.
Yeah.
But it would have made sense to weave her in maybe a little earlier, or had her more of like a part of the team even.
Yeah. I do think the team had really good chemistry.
Oh yeah.
I think
like Naomi Aki really loved her.
I think they were great. And obviously Keke Palmer's great.
Yes.
Demi Moore is star power. She was great. I don't like that she's kind of pro AI, but that doesn't make her not a good actress, because she was acting down.
She played a villain. She plays a villain.
She plays a villain very well. And
like the way she said,
kind of villain.
Urban bitches.
Bitches, which is a spoiler because that's in the advertising.
Minor spoiler for communism and urban bitches.
What else? Humor. It's short. It's only an hour 45 minutes. However, I felt towards the end, it drug a little bit. The movie isn't long, and it also feels really long to me. No thoughts. Head empty. Just nothing. You can disagree.
I had that sensation.
Yeah. Okay. I did.
Yeah.
And I think that is to a point, which is, I recommend that if you're Black, watch this movie. If you're like a film head and you want to analyze and like really close read, watch this movie. If you like wacky, weird, surrealist comedy, watch this movie. If you don't have a high tolerance for weird, you're not gonna like this movie.
It's like me trying to recommend JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
But I will say, yes. Yes. I mean, Boots. This is Boots Riley, like in his bag. This is. I think he's incredible writer director, and I look forward to seeing more and more of what he does. I think, if he weren't so weird, like in his writing style, not as a person, I don't know him. He would be. He's like the stepchild to like Jordan Peele, Ryan Coogler, like, you know what I mean? Where it's like he's in the family, but he's really doing his own shit. Like he doesn't sit at the same table really.
This is interesting that you bring Coogler up, because I felt like there's like discussions about people trying to understand how something like Sinners could be. Well, one, of course, like Sinners was like cost a fuck ton to produce, and it had like Warner Brothers and all that, so like it's obviously reached all these people, versus like a Boots Riley film, which of course is inherently more niche, which is not like a bad thing per se, but it is I just hope more movies like this keep getting funded.
I agree. Like, watch movies like this. I need to go watch Is God Is. I haven't seen that yet. But like, watch
there's also like an actress from Milo Boosters and Is God Is.
Ooh, which one?
The Kari Young, is that her name? Yes.
Oh, yeah. She's also in I'm a Virgo.
Yeah, she's really funny. I like her a lot.
Yeah. Here's my response to the like Ryan Coogler Boots Riley comparison. Ryan Coogler is way more commercial.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that as a dig, even though I know some people would read that as a dig. It's a lot more commercial. And that shows in the way his stuff is produced and the way his politic is presented. Whereas Boots Riley is a lot more explicit with the politic.
Bruce
And
Riley's he said I'm a communist.
he's
a
the
communist.
woker for sure, right? And also he's weird, which this isn't a complaint really, but it is a
because we're
warning.
weird.
I think this movie, the way it felt to me, it felt like the movie, just like Sorry to Bother You, right? It starts kind of normal as fuck, and you can feel him grab the dial that has like weird in all caps
weirdometer
with one exclamation point, and you could feel him slowly cranking that bitch up. And then as it hits a point where it's moved, this is how I felt. There's a point where it moved definitively from normal to weird. And that transition
that
to
one
me
scene
felt like, whoa. I think the beginning of the movie, there's a lot of exposition. It really front loads you with information. And that information is not, it didn't feel very organic. It didn't feel, it felt obligatory. And I personally didn't like it. Took me out of that beginning part a little bit for me, but as he kept cranking the weird dial, there was a spot where I hit a sweet spot. I was like, "Oh, this is weird, and I love it. Oh, this is great." And I think Act 2, I loved Act 2, and then he kept cranking that bitch.
Wait, no, you know the episode of SpongeBob where Plankton's fucking with the thermostat and the Krusty Krab, and he's like on that bitch spinning, like around the little crank thing. That's how I imagined towards the end it was like.
It felt like an episode of regular show that was like really long. That just like kept escalating.
That kind of explains why I like it so much.
Yeah.
I'm like,
but if you go see this, like if you have interest in seeing this and you do not have a high tolerance for weird, you're gonna struggle.
It's like I wouldn't take my parents to see this.
Yeah.
But I would take the artsy baddie who really likes niche films.
Yeah.
I would take them to see it. If that
but even artsy baddie, right? Because as film and literary scholars, we both have met people that are real into artsy stuff, but aren't into fun. You know what I mean?
That's
where it's
true.
I love Dune. I know Dune isn't like high art or whatever, right? But the first Dune is real slow. Really slow. And I love it. And people didn't. A lot of people did not fuck with that movie at first.
Oh. When I tried to date a frat boy, he was trying to get me to watch Dune, but he was like, "Just skip the first movie, just skip it." I'm like, I don't know, I don't like to skip movies.
I disagree.
That's not my thing.
I think you'd really like the first movie, at minimum, as an artist, even if it doesn't like scratch the nerd part, right? But the second movie is there's a lot more fast paced. There's a lot more action. There's like more stuff going on, right? And this is kind of like I Love Boosters is like the further end of that, where it's like, oh god damn, there's a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of stuff going on. And
I think
yeah.
No, continue.
I was just gonna say there are a lot of movies that too much stuff is a huge detriment. Sometimes movies do too much, and it kind of makes them less accessible. And I do think this movie is not as accessible to everyone, especially compared to like a Ryan Coogler. Still a very good movie. All right, we're gonna transition into the spoiler stuff. So if you want to see this movie, go watch the movie. Go watch the movie, because the spoiler stuff is gonna capital S, like hard ER spoiler.
This is your final warning.
This is your final warning. Warning.
All right, so let's just start off with exactly what we should start off with, which is the demon.
The demon, dude.
I gotta say, I actually love I love how this like surrealist, this very literal version of like a soul sucking demon, you know, like what you would commonly associate with like a man who's like a fuckboy, whatever,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
having
yeah.
it become like this literal thing where
This literal. So spoilers. Lakeith Stanfield plays a demon.
soul sucking demon.
Literal, not
He sucks the
figurative.
souls out of genitals, essentially. Like
He goes down
penises
on a bitch
or-
and sucks her soul out. Not.
I mean, he even
not
says
a
himself,
joke.
like penises, vaginas. He just all
Oh,
opportunist soul
true.
sucker.
Yeah, he did say that explicitly. I'm
He's
sorry.
also
I'm not.
French, I
I
think.
got outwoked. I said women. Yeah.
Respect our pansexual demon.
I thought he was interesting the first time I saw him, and I thought he was hilarious when he came back those couple of times. But then the moment he turned into the demon, that's when I could feel the dial going like crossing
Plankton
past
spinning the dial.
Yeah, like past the comfort level, and I was like, oh. And I think my reaction was like, this is not. Don't read this as a critique of the movie. I was like startled. I was kind of scared. It was disgusting the way they made him look. Like I was like, oh man, if I was a child, this would give me nightmares.
Like I think it was interesting because not to bring monster fucking into it, but I felt like this was like obviously not to be like a monster fucking scene.
Yeah.
Like it was not like where you like Shape of Water, like a Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
Cute, like
he is meant to be repulsive.
Yeah.
Yes. And he was. I was repulsed. I was repulsed.
I was quite tickled, but I was like, oh.
But I do think they stuck the landing with him.
Oh, for sure.
I do think they stuck a landing with him. Like I think the best jokes in the whole film are Keke Palmer reacting to Lakeith Stanfield's character.
What she said when she was like, "Ooh, tell me he eats ass." I was dead. Like, "Ooh, girl, that's the least of your worries right now."
She went, "I guess I gotta block him." That shit had me weak.
I was like, it was funny because I remember talking to my friends after, and they were like, "Damn, I was kind of hoping she would hook up with the soul sucking demon." I'm like, "Now y'all want her to get her soul took?"
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah. But I think the part for me that really made me that kind of like took me back out. I think as soon as they introduced the teleporter, I was like, okay. I still enjoyed the movie by the end, but I had to like readjust because to me it almost feels like a second movie starts. Like it becomes a different thing. They like the whole movie, yes, is about boosting. I think the teleporter makes it about something different.
Oh yeah, I think the teleporter
it moves to a different thing.
Especially because the teleporter was it was, I have to say that was one of the clearest explanations I have ever received of dialectical materialism. Like, you're not gonna get such a good explanation within the academy or asking like an academic. So I thought
they practice real dialectical materialisms in I Love Boosters, which goes to show like Bruce Riley, that nigga read books.
Oh yeah,
he read books.
This nigga probably been reading books longer than we
genuinely. Yeah, so we kind of hinted at it before. While the central plot of the movie is about like these boosters trying to get like back at this designer who stole. You can't tell that story without it being kind of about capitalism. In fact, that story's been told before a bunch. Right? But then it moves to a more explicit critique as they get into like
anti-capitalist.
Yes. A lot more blatant as they get into like sweatshops and political uprisings and unionizing. And like I love that part of Keke Palmer's character, part of Corvette's character, is that like she feels empty because she feels lonely and like she's drifting. And the answer was not like, I think it easily could have been like, one, you have friends and they're here, or two, like you're an artist, you just need to create. The thing that she learned is like, oh, actually I could be a part of a movement.
Yeah, I mean, community.
That's community. Community is helping these people get from under the thumb of this capitalistic overlord.
Like, literally. Once the moment, there's like a moment where you feel it click, where she's like, oh my God, even if it doesn't explicitly say it, she's like, wait, the problem was capitalism all along.
Yeah.
Like, that's the root of all our fucking problems right now.
And it is.
Oh, and it is. That's the thing, like, it's correct.
Yeah.
And I felt like I feel like I knew watching it that I'm like, okay, this is movie, obviously there's gonna be people mad from like all sides of the thing. I mean, there was already people like, this is encouraging black people to boost, which
Yeah.
of course
This is
kind of
encouraging the blacks to steal. All right, guys. And I want to reiterate, we have no position on stealing. That's not my fucking problem. Hey,
shit, I'm not pro corporation or anything. So
Yeah.
like, that's all I'll say.
and if something happens to those corporations,
Oopsies.
probably deserved it.
Whoopsies.
Whatever it is, I don't know. You guys got to fill that in for yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, I love like that. I think that really makes the movie. It like I was saying before, me personally being kind of sucked out of it around like Act 3, the back half of Act 2. I was really pulled back in because I was like, wow, communism, uprising, yeah, let's fight back. And I like that they just succeed and things change.
Yeah.
Because I do think one thing that I despise as a trope in media that has similar politics, where it's like, this capitalist is bad, this individual capitalist is bad because they stole from me, working class. And it's I feel like a lot of media's endings, a lot of media ends with that small group of the people being hurt succeeding. And like there may be being like hints at change, but it's not really about sweeping social change. It's kind of about this person winning.
Yeah, I like how that was like something actively you got to see unfold in the movie, like seeing Kiki's character go from like it being a pure personal slight from her versus the designer to actually her recognizing how this is just a byproduct of the larger problem of capitalism, and actually getting to see the re-envisioned possibilities of like the people organizing collectively, her having to act, the Demi Moore's character having to, you know, give in to the demands of the protesters and stuff. So seeing actual results was nice.
And it's really nice.
Yeah.
I do think in the conversation about capitalism, there is a critique of like race and racial politics in there because of the skin suits.
Yeah.
Right? Like part of the one of the plot lines,
skin suits.
One of the plot lines is like one of the there's like a special suits that the rumor is
$100,000 suits.
$100,000 suits is how it's described. And when they find the suits, it turns out what they were skin suits that were not exclusively but predominantly black.
Yeah.
Right? And it was like throughout the whole movie, there were scenes of people on the news going like I can't believe these workers want to get paid more. I think we should all thank our overlords. Thanks, right? And it's like,
there was a nice joke about rent control where it was like, oh, who are you to say you could control my rent? I should be able to pay what I want to pay for my rent.
So what if I want to pay a lot of money for my rent? I should be able to choose that, right? Like these clearly, I mean, humorous, but clearly meant to represent a specific kind of either apathetic citizen or antagonistic citizen who are against the cultural changes towards progressivism. But the thing that happens is it turns out all those people were the same handful of people changing out their skin suits to deliberately stir up anti-revolutionary thought.
I have to say, I actually, because I haven't mentioned him yet, I really love Don Cheadle's
Don
character.
Cheadle. Don Cheadle's in this fucking movie, and I didn't notice it at first. He is not in it much. He is killer. He's killer great in this movie.
I love the fucking the pyramid scheme and how it's literally a pyramid,
Explicitly a pyramid, yeah.
and
Friends
I
of
love
friends.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but in the parts about the skin suits, I do think there was a world. I do think in general there is a world where this movie was a little bit more about race. I'm not saying that as a critique because I don't want to critique this film on what it isn't. Um, but it does feel like all the parts are there and a lot of the language is there, right? The like white Demi Moore with her platinum blonde hair calling this group of black
Urban
women
bitches.
boosters urban bitches and using like not even dog slurs, like blowhorns of terms to describe their poverty and their race, and like these skin suits meant to do all the and so on so on and so forth. And the Chinese sweatshop,
Yeah,
is it Chinese? Like
yeah, I
the
was trying.
yes, it's like pretty much all of the anyone that's like on the side of the antagonists is either white or wearing the skin of someone who isn't white. And then everyone who by the end is like pro revolution that has a speaking role is non-white. Except I guess arguably Isa Gonzalez, I wouldn't describe her as white.
Yeah,
Um
she's
but she is very fair.
yeah.
But I'm not the person to race her.
Yeah,
In
she's
that
what is
way.
she is. She's
Like she's my skin tone, and I'm black. I'm a black person.
I
But like whatever.
I think people would like us Latinos would say she's like a white Latina. I know a lot of
Hmm.
Latinos might get up in the air about that, but haha, I'm Puerto Rican, so I can say
Yeah.
that.
And so I do. Can I? I hope this isn't too far of a tangent. In America, in the United States of America, yes, there are white Latinos. A lot of those white Latinos are still identifiably Latino. And it does I understand, please correct me right when I say this point. I understand the idea that Latino is not a race,
Yeah, I think
but
what you're thinking of
it
is
kind of is.
like it's just that since Latino is such a fusion of different demographics, like it's
Hmm.
probably your mix of whatever native indigenous
Hmm.
was to your country. It's your there's going to be some European in there. There's going to be
Hmm.
some African. So I feel like that creates like an interesting mixture. Like if I look into like my dad's ancestry, it's interesting because you kind of just see everything.
Hmm.
Like you'll see like African ancestry, you'll see West African ancestry, you'll see he has indigenous Puerto Rican, he has some European, but like he's a nigga. So it's like you
Hmm.
can't really measure it by I guess that honestly I just think it's like I guess I feel like maybe the need for separation comes from like how like maybe someone like Isa Gonzalez, how her experience would differ from someone
Hmm.
I'm trying to think of someone who's Latino but not necessarily like Afro Latino.
Hmm.
Uh
Pedro
give me a
Pascal.
name. Yeah, or we'll see Pedro, he's kind of I think I would also call him like closer to an Isa
Really?
Gonzalez.
I mean,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. I'll take your word for it. Oh, I don't know. I can't think of any off the top of my head. I'm
um
sure I could.
my girl from Desperate Housewives.
Eva Longoria.
Yeah.
Eva Longoria is further away from Isa Gonzalez than Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I'll take your word for it,
But
dog.
honestly,
Like,
I don't. Whoever's
they're,
listening to this, please don't,
Isa
please
Gonzalez
don't.
and Eva Longoria are both Mexican,
Which is actually a
and
great point because, like,
Chilean.
hmm?
Pedro Pascal is Chilean.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yes.
I just think about it because, like, for example, I had like a roommate who's from Mexico. Like she
Mhm.
was, because I live in California, so there's like a large Mexican population. But she was from Mexico, coming to grad school, and I remember she was expressing she was upset because she would like go to like Mexican places and stuff, and
Mhm.
they would like speak English to her because they would see her and like perceive her as white, so they wouldn't necessarily know to like speak Spanish to her. So
Mhm.
honestly, it's all fucking about what's the word? It's all proximity,
Mhm.
honestly. Like how white or non-white you seem, honestly, is probably just like a regional thing.
Mhm. To put a pin, to put a final note onto
Yes.
I love Boosters. I think great movie. I think visually stunning. I think very funny. Standout performances. My biggest complaints are that first act. I think the first act was overloaded with information, and I think Isa Gonzalez didn't get enough to do. How about you?
Uh yes. I agree with all those things. I beautifully visual movie, love surrealism, love the little absurdist bits about it. I would like to see more from Taylor Page, of course.
I
But
forgot to say that
honestly,
more from Taylor Page for sure.
yeah, but honestly, yeah, I could see how there's like a lot of information at the beginning. I think
Mhm.
honestly my main critiques of course are just more utilization of the strong ensemble. Which
Yeah.
honestly when I watch a movie
It's just
that's
I don't
the
think they could
most
have
of the
done that
critique
without
I hope
making it
for.
longer, and I really don't think the movie should be longer.
Yeah.
Because I
So I'm like,
really because of so many shifts to the plot, it it felt like a long hour and 45 minutes to me.
yeah.
And then
I'm
yeah,
yeah.
say your thing.
I was gonna say I just know that there's like a black Marxist out there in an English program who just they felt
Yeah.
reinvigorated in their studies by this movie. So I'm interested to see how
Kind of like the drama. This is like the kind of movie that is going to inspire a 16-year-old into film.
yes,
Someone's going to
yes.
make this movie their whole personality, and we're going to hear from them in 20 years.
And I love it. And they're gonna make something cool as fuck
I,
in 20
I
years.
sure hope so. And we'll talk
As a
about it
David
then too.
Yes, as a Lynchian, a David Lynch lover and a
Yeah.
Wes Anderson lover, I
Yeah. Cuz like so Wes Anderson is a different kind of weird than this.
oh no, I just thinking of like I
Like
just like
visual
colors. I feel
style,
like
yeah, for sure. I get what you're
he
saying.
made me interested, I think, in like movie coloring a lot.
Mhm.
Or like how it made me pay attention to how movies are colored and stuff.
Mhm.
So oh oops, I do not want to imply that like Boots Riley isn't inspired by him or anything.
I
I
mean,
just
sure, but Wes Anderson has a much longer filmography. Like he has been around longer.
yeah, yeah, for
Sorry,
sure.
he's been prominent longer. Like I'm sure Boots
Oh
Riley
yeah,
has
yeah.
had um hits before Sorry to Bother You, or not, maybe not hits, but films before Sorry to Bother You. But
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think it's like I think it's hard to argue that Sorry to Bother You is not the first. No, those are his writing.
Yeah, yeah, sorry, because before that he was like I don't know if he still does rap, but I know Sorry to Bother You was named after his rap album, uh, from his rap group he used to be in, where they would rap about, I mean, shit that you would
About
see in Sorry to
communism.
Bother You
Yeah,
or I Love
I
Boosters.
did not know that about Boots Riley.
Yeah,
Oh, he's from Chicago. Yeah, that
yeah.
tracks. That
I
tracks.
I think it's of course you see he's the stuff from his past, how you can see its influence in the movie, like him being,
Yeah.
of course, a community organizer and stuff. You can totally see.
There is one thing I will. I can I add this one point really quick?
Yeah.
I do think once again in the comparison to Ryan Coogler, I think Boots Riley and Lakeith Stanfield are gonna have a long history together.
Oh
In the
yeah, I
same
think
way that
that's.
Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler are kind of locked in.
I feel like I could see that's how I see Lakeith, his career, even like continuing further. I feel like
Mhm.
it's already been like this, but him doing like the artsy black sort of
Yeah.
um yes.
Yeah.
Also, like, did you hear A24 was beefing with Neon at Sunday at Can the Cannes
No.
Film Festival?
No. I Love Boosters is produced by Neon, by the way.
Yes.
Which is why this is relevant.
But I could see, like, in my head, I was like, I feel like A24 would have loved to have their hands on it.
Yeah.
They would have loved that.
Yeah. All right. Go watch this movie. And while you watch this movie, Leah, where can they find us? Sorry.
You can find us on any place.
Pretend I didn't rush through that. Leah, where can they find us?
Well, Darrell, thanks for asking. You can find us on any place that has a podcast. Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, since they want to make an app for podcasts.
How dare they?
YouTube, and of course, Patreon.
And on Patreon for $5 a month, you can access to our after show office hours, where we have a little more fun with the pod. After the pod, we are a little looser, a little riskier, consume a little illegal substance here or there, and just have a little bit more fun. If you want a sneak peek, here's one right here. A huge proponent of biphobia and just that erasure of bisexuality is that a lot of queer people are still oriented through the patriarchy.
People think of, like, often you'll see how, like, bi women, they're like, we kind of get like a biphobia from women, other like sapphics, because it's at the root of it, it's like, the association, it comes down to men and the association with men, and it's like almost like it feels like a tainting. Like, I'm tainted by the man.
So if you can afford $5 a month, please send this our way. If not, please like, comment, and subscribe. And until we see you next, stay black, stay nerdy, and read books. Read books. We gotta find the books that Boots Riley was reading. We gotta be reading whatever he's on.
Nigga, you know that nigga was reading Marx.
Yeah, the dialectic. Yeah. Yeah, guys, go read up on dialectical materialisms.
Yeah.